It's a city that values its past and its future. I can't eat this.
They can cure whatever ails you.
Look at this. I can't eat this.
Can't we all just get along?
I can't eat this.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We're in Seoul, South Korea.
Hello world, I've been waiting for a chance to see your face. Oh, hello world, I am ready for a different kind of place. And I'm flying to somewhere else, 'cause I'm searching for something else. And I'm leaving, I don't know where I'm gonna land. Oh no, yes, I'm leaving, I don't know where I'm gonna land.
Hi, everybody. I'm Patrick Michael.
I'm Pierce Bunning.
I'm Barbara Alvarez. Welcome to Travelers in Seoul.
For over 500 years, Korea existed under one dynasty, and there was very little change. But this century has brought huge changes. In 1910, Japan occupied Korea, and for the next 35 years, they tried to erase Korean culture and replace it with their own.
Then in 1945, instead of being able to enjoy their independence from the Japanese, Korea began to break apart as a nation. Seoul is just below the North Korean border. This city changed hands 4 times during the Korean War before ceasefire was declared in 1953. Those battles left Seoul virtually demolished.
Technically, the war never ended. A peace agreement was never signed. But in the years since the troops swept the city, Seoul has grown to become a major economic power in Asia. This prosperity has attracted millions of people. Today, 25% of the Korean population lives in Seoul proper. Another 40% if you count the surrounding areas.
Today's Seoul represents economic opportunity for its people. But the really incredible part about Seoul is how much of its past has survived. Despite all the turmoil of the 20th century, many of its great palaces and monuments are still standing.
That's partially because the government here has provided a lot of funding for the repair and restoration of these monuments to a culture that was almost annihilated. Seoul is the 10th biggest city in the world. There's something like 12 million, close to 12 million people living in the city proper.
Seoul is a big city, it's crowded, it's colorful. About 25% of Koreans practice Buddhism. This is the Chogyesa Temple, the only major Buddhist temple in Seoul. It's hidden in the back alleys of the city near the ancient palaces, and we've been invited here for the Sashikito.
저희 관광객들이나 아니면 일반 시도분들은 연문이나 뒷문을 이용해요.
Ordinary people cannot go through main gates of this hall. Only Buddhist monk can go through the main gates. Ordinary people can use only this back door.
Sashikito is a ceremony or ritual that's performed every day at the Buddhist temples here to offer food and rice to Buddha. And basically they're asking for their welfare or for Buddha to care for them in return. The people bow many times. What does that mean?
It 신자들이 절을 많이 하는 것은 첫 번째는
Believers are showing their humility before the Buddha.
They're what? I'm sorry?
Humbleness.
Uh-huh.
And second reason is they think more they bow, the more they will receive the mercy from the Buddha.
The people were chanting along with the monks, and the chants are prayers. It was very peaceful inside of the temple. The minute we walked in, I was hit by the smell of incense. The temple was just beautiful. It was painted in incredible detail. By the time I left, I was completely relaxed. All of the baggage of the day was gone.
The minute you bite into it, it starts squirming around in your mouth as if it's trying to get back out.
So Patrick, you ever eat anything really bizarre on the road?
I ate a bug once.
A bug? What's a bug? I don't want to brag, but I mean, I've eaten grasshoppers, crickets, grubs.
Okay, I ate the sex organs out of a conch one time.
Oh, that's impressive. How about raw sea urchin?
Oh, in Africa, I ate a rat. I ate a rat on a stick.
A rat on a stick? Mm-hmm. You ever eat anything alive?
Heck no.
I took Patrick to a restaurant where we could get san nakji with our guide Kim and our driver Young.
So, have you ever tried Korean food?
Yeah, a little bit.
A little kimchi.
Spicy.
Yeah, the vegetables are really good.
But this is first time for you to eat living octopus, right?
Yeah.
This is first time for you. Living octopus.
Right. I mean, you cut and boil it, right? I mean,
it's alive.
No.
You eat live octopus.
It's live.
Joan loves it.
Yes.
How do you know that?
You know.
How do you know that?
Because Kim told me that
Yes,
this is
he
one of his
likes it.
favorite dishes.
Some Korean people like to eat living octopus very much, and in my case, the younger generation like me don't like to eat living octopus too much. But some young people like to eat living octopus too. And
We couldn't just go get a burger somewhere. We couldn't stop have some
Patrick,
pie.
we're in Korea.
right, you are in
You
Korea.
wanna try and get inside
you can
of the
have
culture?
hamburger in the United States anytime.
Right. You want
You are in
to
Korea.
try and get inside of the culture, find out what it's like, the authentic cuisine.
And this is cultural difference, you know. Every country has their own food. Some country has extremely strange food, but it's their culture and it's their food. You cannot think it's strange because they eat that food. No, that's wrong.
Right. You don't put a judgment on it. You just say it's different.
And this plate hits the table, and suddenly you can see that everything on the plate is trying to climb right off the plate.
Look, Pat.
Look, most of my food doesn't fight me back. Do you understand that? Most of my food has been long dead.
Did you ever see 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea?
Yes. Okay, I can do this. Oh my God.
Just go for it, man.
Okay, I can do this.
Let it in there. Let it wiggle around a little bit.
The minute you bite into it, it starts squirming around in your mouth as if it's trying to get back out. There.
What did it taste like?
Whatever I dipped it in.
Yeah, the taste isn't really an issue, is it?
Sort of like a little jumpy piece of inner tube with sauce on it, and then, oh gosh.
It's like eating an adventure show.
You can.
Well, I thought that they brought these two little octopi out in the bowl just for show. I didn't realize that you were actually going to eat it, but when I found out that
You gonna eat the whole thing?
Jung was going to eat one,
What?
then I really got excited.
That out. You go, boy.
No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I have never been filled with such a sense of fascination that, oh my God, he just ate a live octopus, and revulsion, like, oh my God, he just ate a live octopus.
Oh right. You are my hero. Oh, look at it.
I can see Pierce right next to me going, oh yes, I have got to eat that octopus.
Pierce. You're another hero.
Pierce.
Okay, what do I do? I smooth it out?
Yeah.
And you got to squeeze the water out, right? I mean,
Ooh, it's sticking to me. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Now I dip it in this.
Yes.
I dip that in there.
Yeah.
And I stick it in my mouth.
Yeah.
Oh, it's holding onto my plate.
Get away from me.
I like to eat strange things because it's one of the few things that I do really well.
Delicious.
Delicious.
Oh my God. I'm sick. I can't help you. I can't touch it.
I almost lost it right there. Breakfast was climbing up my throat as the octopus is going down his throat.
감사합니다.
Oh my God. I don't feel well.
You know, you chew on it a little bit, but it's pretty chewy. It doesn't break apart very easily, so it's really just a big.
시골에서도 저 바닷가니까 내가 직접 잡아주는 거였어요.
His hometown was seaside, so when he was child, he grabbed it in the sea and he ate it too. I think it was good today, and I wanna go to visit the United States sometime, right?
Okay.
And you gotta take me to special restaurant like this.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, you know what? There is this one outrageous food to eat in the United States that is probably more outrageous than eating live octopus. Patrick's mother's cooking.
Well, what's that?
Huh?
What's that?
I'm gonna have to poke his eyes out. Wait till my mom hears that.
I want to meet your mom.
No more cookies for you.
I went to Kyunghee University Hospital to experience acupuncture for the first time. Acupuncture and other forms of Oriental medicine are very big here in Korea. I was given a crash course in acupuncture by Dr. Che.
좀 저염하기 때문에 그래서 이제 그 침을 많이 늘 이렇게 애용합니다. 예.
Okay, it's the traditional way of treating illness in Korea.
What, I'm sorry?
It's traditional way of treating illness in Korea.
Okay.
And it's been done over 1,000 years in Korea, and it's cheaper than the Western medicine. That's why the Koreans usually use the acupuncture or Oriental medicine.
Does it work?
그 작용 잘 듣냐고.
많이 잘 듣죠. 그래서 과거의 그 침 치료 방법은 조금
The methods has been improved year by year, so it works especially on the sudden illness like indigestion or backaches or something like that.
The Korean people probably seek the advice or treatment from an Oriental doctor 50% of the time. If they have an ailment, sometimes they'll start with a Western, medical doctor, and then they'll move on to an Oriental doctor.
Before I came to Korea, I went to the doctor in the United States, and I wear contact lenses, and they're drying out very fast. And he told me that my tears are dissolving too quickly, and therefore my eyes are drying out.
이렇게 잘 나오게끔 그렇게 해서 치료해주는 방법은 있다고 이렇게.
Yeah. So there is a way that with the needles, with the acupuncture, they can make your tears more fluently flow from your eyes. Then that is one way to heal the dried eyes. Thank you.
How are you feeling?
Not bad at all.
Okay.
I heard him putting the needles in around my eyes, and they made a funny noise, each needle. But I wasn't scared.
Okay.
Oh, I can feel the pressure though.
Oh.
It's funny. It's like, no, it feels fine, but I could feel that it's a point. It's a pressure point?
Sure.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay.
But especially this acupuncture point is sensitive point, then
Yes.
one place.
Yes.
I feel very queasy around needles normally, but I trusted completely that this man knew what he was doing and that this was not going to be a problem and it was not going to be painful. And sure enough, I didn't even feel it.
It's actually a really cool feeling. Is this little bit going to help me?
Sure, but
little bit?
especially it is good for your eyes.
So even though what we've done here today is just a simple minor demonstration, will this little bit help me?
I think so. But we do not say acupuncturist, it's Oriental medical doctor.
I see. Oriental medical doctor.
They treat acupuncture and they apply Oriental medicine too.
They perform all kinds of tests and exams before they actually administer any treatment to a patient. With me, it was a quick demonstration. So if it doesn't work, I know why. 50% of the work that happens or goes on in the hospital is Western medicine, and 50% is Eastern or Oriental medicine. And that includes acupuncture and herbal remedies and medications and other forms of Eastern medicine. We went into an herbal medication pharmacy at the hospital, and it was fascinating. They had scales, they had boxes with every type of herb imaginable. Another thing that I found very interesting is that they were filling actual prescriptions. So people go to this herbal medication pharmacy the way they would to get any other form of prescription medicine in the West.
약물을 사용하기 때문에 우리가 한약이라고 말할 수 있는 것입니다.
The Oriental medicine is used all diseases. The purpose of the Oriental medicine is to prevent the diseases, not the cure the already ill person.
It kind of looks like home cooking in that there's a pinch of this here and a little bit of that here and a dash of this here, but it really is a very skilled profession in that the doctors and the pharmacists that practice Oriental medicine have to be highly specialized and very well trained. I was curious about acupuncture before I arrived here, but now I'm fascinated with it and I'm trying it the minute I get back to the States.
As soon as he picked me up, my strategy was to survive the pummeling I'm about to get. Boom! national sport in Korea is called Sirum, and it's wrestling.
Patrick and I went to a serum practice on the outskirts of Seoul in this big gymnasium complex. Well, we knew that we were probably going to end up having to wrestle because that's what we always end up doing.
It begins with respect. Hands clapped at your side and you bow to your opponent. Before this match even begins, he looks me dead in the eye, reaches over and tweaks me right in the willy.
Okay, hey.
How can that be the way to start this match, right? And it completely unsettled me. Okay. Right. I'm gonna grab that left foot down here. Okay. Good. And it's just gonna go here. And okay, cool. And then it's a matter of throwing your opponent to the ground. Okay. If any part of your opponent's body touches the ground, any part above the knees, you're the winner. Here. Okay. Okay. Oh. Cool. Okay. Okay. Having size, having strength helps, but you gotta have some speed. You gotta have some agility. You gotta know how to twist. You gotta know how to move. And to be perfectly honest, you gotta be able to take a beating.
So, got any tips for me?
Are you a religious man?
Yeah.
Find some right now. Never say die.
The first thing this guy did to me, he walked over to me. Can I say it?
Okay. Oh!
Well, I didn't know what to do after that. You can hold on for the ride for a while, and if you can keep yourself up, you won't get knocked over. But these guys, you know, at any second, if they chose to, could really. So I think they were being very nice to me.
All right, how do I beat you?
One more time.
One more time. Thank you. Thank you very much.
And then there was an eclipse in the room.
Champion. Right. Oh, okay. Champion. Okay. Good. No. What is champion? You see a problem here? Look. Look at this. I can show movies on this back. Look at the size of it. This guy was the national wrestling champion of Korea. In 1995 and 96, he was the champion. He can't even go outside anymore without Korea rushing up to him to get an autograph. And I might have to add, he's mammoth.
Oh, when my feet hit the ground.
There's a moment there when you're up in the air, flailing, both legs just kicking in the wind that you think, you know, I'm not even going to survive this. This is it. Call my mom. You are the national champion wrestler in Korea. What do you think you do that makes you better than everybody else?
그리고 정신력 같은 게 많이 잡으면.
The most important thing is regular exercise and your mind. The mind is very important.
Really?
Mind to be a champion.
What can I do to be champion?
그러니까 패트릭이 챔피언이 되기 위해서는 어떤 것을 해야 된다고 생각하세요?
좀 몸이 체중을 좀 늘려야 되고.
You have to put on your weight more
웨이트 트레이닝 해갖고.
and exercise.
Exercise?
Yeah.
I'm a little skinny. That's not that far. What are you talking about? Come on, I can do that. Good golly. Everybody thinks it's funny that I got to wrestle Goliath there. Well, let me tell you, they went out and found the biggest man in all of Korea.
God! This man's leg's bigger than my whole family. 7'2" and massive, completely proportionate and massive, with the head about the size of my torso. I just cut my hand on his leg muscles. All right. I can't even stand up. All right. I can do it. Kiss me.
Win any way you can, right? If that's what it takes to win the match, kiss him. I think it's a sport that not only you have to be in some good shape, but you have to be ready to take a beating. Even if you're going to win, you got to be ready to take a beating.
Korea as a country pours so much money into the restoration, the repair, and the upkeep of these old palaces.
There's a tremendous respect here among the Koreans to save their heritage. And their heritage is represented in these incredible castles and gates all around the city.
Seoul has many historical assets remained despite of the severe Korean War. But after the Korean War, you can see the high-rise building, you can see the modern building. So Seoul city itself is the modern and old combined together.
Now this one's called the East Gate?
Yes.
Now, how do you say that in Korean?
In Korean, it's Dongdaemun.
Dongdaemun.
Yeah, Dong means east. Daemun is great gate.
Did Seoul get invaded a lot?
한국이 많이 침략을 당했냐고, 서울이 많이 침공을 당했냐고 묻고 있는데.
우리나라는 역사 이래 약 천여 차례 외침을 받았어요.
Seoul is historically the Seoul is invaded by the enemy over 1,000 times.
Who came in? Who invaded?
북쪽에 우리 접경지에 있는 북쪽 지역에 아주 소수 민족들도 많이 침범을 해왔어요.
Japan, from China, and from the several tribes living in Manchuria.
Historically, because so many people were coming in trying to invade and take over Seoul, they eventually built a wall around the city and put gates up so that the only way in and out of the city was through one of these gates. The scallop roof and the colors that are used, does that mean anything?
저기 단청이 어떤 의미가 있나고 그러는데.
단청은
We call it 단청 in Korea, and all the Korea traditional decorations, colors symbolized in that decoration. This is the main gate of Seoul in the ancient time. It's the oldest gate.
How old is it?
얼마나 오래됐나요? 한 500년. 500 years. Stand here. About 19th century, there are 200,000 people live here, outside and inside of this castle. The castle was constructed for the purpose of protection from the enemy's invasion, and they usually use this gate as a purpose to control the people in outside of the Seoul city.
Right now it's covered with scaffold. This happens occasionally as they're doing, every 10 years they repaint it.
Here, a city has just grown up, and instead of consuming these buildings, it's given it space. The city has grown up around this history, not on top of this history. When the invasions came, and they were so fierce that they overran the city, many times all the village would retreat up into the mountains to a place called Namhan Sansong. And it's a mountain fortress.
And it's really Korea's version of the Great Wall, although it's nowhere near as big.
When you look at this, you can only see a little piece of it. How big is it really?
이 전체 크기가 얼마나 되는지.
그 둘레가 8km.
8 kilometers all the round of the castle. It's,
all around the castle?
Yeah, it's 8 kilometers.
It's a castle built high up in the mountains using the actual terrain as another line of defense.
First constructed in 661.
661년.
661 years AD, and they are reconstructed 8 times year after, and the last model was constructed in the 17th century.
Originally, these fortifications were built about 2,000 years ago, and as they were destroyed, they would be built again right up on top of those same designs.
As you look down through the valley from this command post, you see this beautiful, tranquil view of South Korea laid out in front of you, Seoul way off in the distance, the sun reflecting off the Han River like a little golden ribbon through the landscape. And it really was a command post. It was a place where you could survey the world around you.
This is Gyeongbokgung Palace. Have you heard about this palace?
No.
This is one of the most famous palaces in Seoul City. Of course, there are more palaces in Seoul City, but this is the most famous palace.
Why is that?
Because this is biggest palace. This is the palace of Joseon Dynasty. Joseon Dynasty is the last dynasty of Korea in last of about 500 years. Can you see the stone animal over there? Mm-hmm. It's called Hete. Hete. It's not a real animal. It's mystical animal like dragon. Mm-hmm. It's not real. And people believe that it lives in the sea, so it contains a lot of water. All the Korean building, its role is fire protector because it lives in the sea. It contains a lot of water, and the animal have to face one mountain. Its mountain is Gwanaksan Mountain. It's located on the southern part of Seoul City. Mm-hmm. And because people believe all the fire comes from that mountain. So this animal can protect this building from firing.
So all of those animals are facing toward that mountain to protect the buildings from the fire.
Yes, it should.
Well, this one, for example, is turned around, kind of looking back. And this one's kind of looking over towards the hills here.
That animal is stupid.
Why do you think it's that important to preserve all these old things?
See, look at everything. Everything is modernized. Do you think this is real Korea? No, I don't think so. This is not real Korea. We have to preserve our own thing because we are Korean. And I would like to show this beautiful palace to all the people over the world. So that's the reason why we have to preserve this building. Understand?
Yeah, I really do. Thanks.
I can't believe this. She's been doing this job more than 65 years. Can you believe this?
No, I can't believe it.
Oh.
That's incredible. We wanted to get out of town for a day, so we went to Jeju-do, Jeju Island. It's just a short flight from Seoul, and it's about 85 kilometers off the southernmost part of the Korean peninsula. Jeju is a great getaway spot if you like warm weather and gorgeous scenery. The ancient name for Jeju Island is Samda-do, and literally translated that means three many island. And what it means is that the island is plentiful in three things. That is stones, wind, and women.
This is a Tola Ruban, or grandfather stone, carved from lava rock. Like the statues of Easter Island, no one is sure exactly who carved these or even why. But many people believe that these were the guardians to Jeju-do's ancient villages. You can still find these statues all over the island, but this is one of the last original ones.
We went to this place called Yeongmo-ru on Jeju-do Island, which is these long stairways take you down below these giant cliffs, these volcanic cliffs that sit right at seaside, and there's this big primitive-looking tropical mountain looming over the whole area, and a Buddhist temple up on the hill, and thousands of tourists.
Actually, the whole Jeju Island is tourist area, so you can find a lot of tourists all over the island. Especially it's springtime, and there are a lot of honeymooners and students in this area, because still spring and autumn is the best season to visit this island.
And this is a big honeymoon spot.
Yes, this is like Hawaii or United States, but I think this island is better than Hawaii.
Because there's so many people, there's other people selling lunch to them, and lunch here on Jeju-do Island consists of things like live octopus and sea cucumbers and little baby sharks, things like that.
I came out to a small town on the south part of Jeju Island called Papuan-li to watch the Hanyo, or the women divers. Women here on Jeju Island have been diving for fish and for shellfish and seafood for generations and generations. This is a volcanic island, and there's lava rock everywhere, which is jagged and porous, so it's very difficult to walk on. They use their buoys to stay up on the surface, and they just sort of scan the bottom. And when they see something they want, they dive down, and after what seems like minutes, they'll come up a few yards from where they originally started. The women fish and sell their catch to an association that then supplies the island with the catch of the day.
바다에서만 한 60년 넘어 한답니다. 60년 넘어.
이 일을요?
65년 한 거라나 이 바다에서.
I can't believe this. She's been doing this job more than 65 years. Can you believe this?
No, I can't believe it. The woman that I spoke with explained that after her husband died, she supported her family of 4 children on her fishing. How old are you, if you don't mind my asking?
나이가 연세가 어떻게 되시죠?
75세.
Oh, 75 years old.
You look fabulous.
놀랐다는데요?
Is she the oldest diver here?
어디서 사진천간에 사진 텔레비도 나서는 엉망한 게 많아.
There are 2 women who are older than her.
How old are they?
77. But they don't work too often.
무슨데 나 9살부터 배워왔을 거라.
Yeah, she started this job when she was 9 years old, and she started to work like this because on that days she has not educated and there is nothing to do. So there is nothing to do but to catch seafood in this island.
This is a tough way to make a living. This way of life is dying out because the younger women on the island don't want to pursue it. They feel that they'd rather do jobs that aren't as difficult. It can be dangerous. The water's cold. It's hard on the body. They finally came back in, and they had nets full of sea urchins and seashells, and again negotiated this walk from the rocks back on the shore and emptied their nets on the shore. Is this today's catch?
이건 미국 가정가에.
이게 오늘 잡은 겁니까?
금방 여기.
Yes. This is today's catch.
미국 가정가.
Is this food?
Are you going to take this to the United States?
Oh, sure. Thank you. Is this food?
Yes, this is food. You can eat it.
이거 구워 먹으면 맛이 좋아.
When Travelers comes back, we'll learn the ancient art of Korean self-defense. A lot of Asian countries have their own native form of martial arts, and here in Korea, that form of martial arts is Taekwondo.
무도와 스포츠를 같이 겸비하게 됐습니다.
Taekwondo is originally made to protect our body against the invader. The main purpose is Taekwondo is not attack people. Its main purpose is protect our body.
Me and my 3 friends couldn't even beat up that kid. You don't see a problem?
Don't worry about it. The ambulance is prepared. I'm gonna take you to the hospital.
Okay.
I like girl, but I don't want to fight with that girl.
Why?
Because I don't want to go to hospital.
I noticed these guys are pretty small. They're pretty young. How young do they start working with Taekwondo?
지금 여기 있는 학생들이 굉장히 어린데
사회에서 필요한 인간이 되기 때문에 6살부터 모두가 다 하고 있습니다.
Usually, children start to practice Taekwondo at the age of 6 when they enter kindergarten.
인격을 항상 존중하는 이런 것들이 중요해요.
And the people who practice Taekwondo, they never look down on the other people. They always respect the other people. That is the spirit of Taekwondo.
So I had to push it. I had to find out whether any of these kids could really handle it if someone my size came after them. Woo, did I find out just how wrong I was. I'm out of space. It seems like Taekwondo is almost a passive form of martial arts. It almost avoids conflict. When I went up to some of the kids later and just sort of nudged them to play around, they seemed to shy away, almost like, no, don't come after me. I don't want to have to hurt you. Now, I will, but I don't want to have to. I made the mistake of confronting the master because he really doesn't look like an aggressive guy. He looks like a very gentle soul. And I said, hey, what would happen if I just came up to you in a bar, not knowing that you were a master, grabbed you by the lapels?
그리고 여기를 틀면서 상대방 내가 자세를 앉으면서
That would do it.
Okay.
Just following. Okay, he didn't even break a sweat. He reached over, grabbed one hand, and did this number. Boom! I hit with a thud.
Okay, remind me never to do that, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. 감사합니다.
고맙습니다.
Yeah, I have to say, thank you all.
Barbara, did you expect to like Seoul so much?
I don't know that I really expected anything, but I was certainly surprised by what I found here. I mean, Korea has such a turbulent history, you know, with it being invaded so many times and so much of its culture being robbed that I didn't expect the country to have such a strong identity. They have their own alphabet, their own language. I heard music here that I haven't heard anywhere else. The traditional dress looked completely different.
Yeah, I totally agree. I didn't expect so much from Seoul, and I don't know why, but When I think of Asia, I think of really far away exotic places, and for some reason, I thought Seoul might just be another middle-of-the-road city, you know? It turns out to be one of the most exotic places I've ever been to. From standing in that palace, you know, and imagining what it might have been like 400 years ago, to be standing there when the king was addressing his people, or to be inside that Buddhist temple. I'd never done anything like that before. It was incredibly exotic
Great,
to me.
really. I mean, you guys, you found a new religion, you found a new culture. This morning, I found 4 cuts, 6 bruises, and a sprain. You know? No, I got beat up on every day but Sunday. No, don't do that. Because you know what? Every time I take a nap, all I get are these visions of some sea monster coming out of your mouth, Captain Nemo.
What are you talking about?
Barbara, have you ever eaten anything really outrageous on the road? Barbara, don't answer him.
What? What's this all about?
You have an open mind, right?
You know what? We're out of time. We'll see you again on Travelers.
Bye-bye.
Don't talk to Pierce. It's really not
Do
a
you
good
like
idea.
Korean food?
I love Korean food.